Hello, this is the book of Interpretation of Statutes by Dr. S.R. Myneni. This is the second edition. The publisher of the book is Asia Law House, and it is since 1965. This is showing some other books of Asia Law House. Interpretation of Statutes by Dr. S.R. Myneni, second edition. This is the second edition. The first edition was published in 2014. The second is published in 21 and reprint 22. The price of the book is $6.30. You can get discount depending upon from the where you buy, 15 to 20% or more, I don't know, depends from where you buy it. Now let us look at the contents of the book. The first is Statutes, Unit 1, Statutes and Interpretation, Meanings and Definition of Statutes, Classification of Statutes. This chapter is about the various types of statutes: enabling, penal, taxing, amending, disabling, etc. Concept of power of interpretation, concept and power of interpretation, the rule of construction under the General Clauses Act, chapter number 4, general principles of interpretation, basic rules of interpretation, grammatical or literal rule of interpretation, then golden rule or British rule of interpretation, mischief rule of interpretation, then interpretation of penal statutes, interpretation of statutes of taxation, beneficial construction, that is the liberal construction, and then construction to avoid conflict with other provisions, doctrine of harmonious construction, principles of the civil code, reading words in context, the external aspect or the external aids to interpretation, and the internal aids to interpretation, presumptions, construction most agreeable, justice and reason, exceptional construction, construction to prevent evasion and abuse of power, intentions attributed to the legislature when it expresses none, effects of changes in statutes, effect of repeal, effect of amendments to statutes, conflict between parent legislation and subordinated or delegated legislation, methods of interpreting substantive and adjective procedural laws, interpretation of constitution, and sources of constitutional interpretation, role of judiciary, and definition of judicial restraint. So overall, the book is around 500 pages, 505 pages. Now let me show you the content of the book. The font size is good. I never like a book which is very small in fonts. Font should be big, so it makes easy for us to read, and especially when the books are charging so much, it's better that the book is having a decent font and an ample space between them, between the lines and the words. So now let me show you the end of the book. So so it is around 502 pages. I have read this book little bit. I haven't read the whole book yet. I also have the other book on the subject, and I will post the review of this book once I read the whole book. And as you can see, the price, and it's not a very big book. It's only 500 pages, and there are the other authors are also there on the subject. You can find Bhattacharya and Mathur and Maxwell, and some others are also there. I forgot the name. I have other book also of Bhattacharya, and I will also post that book, and once I read this book and the other books, I will post their review also after reading them. And if you want to be abreast with the law books and want to know which law books and how they look and what is the content, etc., then please share and subscribe to my channel so that you can get many more videos on books, especially law books. And so this video is just made for educational purpose, so you can make your decision in buying the best book on interpretation of statutes.